2, 1. We're up, everybody.
Hello, all. Welcome to our newest episode. If you don't know who we are Apochromatic, and Apochromatic is a group of POC looking to uplift and amplify the voices of other POC, and I guess in our own voices as well in the gaming community. We are here today continuing our Court of Blades campaign. Lots of shenanigans last time. And we're all going to introduce ourselves and our characters before we get started. So I'm Max. I use he, they pronouns, and I play Briar, who is a Bravo in the Court of Blade system, who uses he, him pronouns. Now I will pass it to Logan because he is directly below me in the video capture.
That sounds good. Hi, my name is Logan. I go by he, him. I'm playing Vincent, who also uses he, him. I am the Hawk. Last time my character beefed it hardcore, and now I have a giant piece of wood in my leg. So we'll see how that deals with the rest of the encounter. And if we're going who's directly below us, I will go then to Taylor, because Taylor, you are directly below me.
Oh man, hello. I'm Taylor at underscore potato underscore. I am playing. Why do I always forget my playbook? The Couth. I have to tell myself I'm uncouth. Named Babs today. Uh, this is a problem because under me on the video is Logan, so I'm gonna go even further than that to Leona.
Oh, that's me. Hello, I am Leona, and today I am playing Vidya Almari, aka Sparrow. She is the key of the group, and both her and I use she, her pronouns. And I think that
And,
leaves.
Yeah, that leaves
Yes.
me. I'm gonna break the chain of power bottoming here, and I'm the storyteller. My name's Paul. You can find me on the internet. What? Just I know I broke the chain. I'm a chain breaker, and I'm not a power bottom. I just destroyed the whole. I've destroyed the whole feed right now.
I just imagine the meme of two people who get it together, and it's just they found out they're both bottoms.
Yep. It happens. Just I gotta. Yeah, you ain't wrong. But no, and I am in charge of this crazy caravan of good times, fun, and frolicking and revelry. I believe we literally laughed off our last game session when we got Vincent out of a hole, and it's a sad day. But there's a to catch everybody up. There was a festival where the house that is currently the prince, which is a gender neutral term in this game, for the house that is in charge of all the things. And they threw a giant, festival full of games and other stuff. And our group of competitors, who are kind of at the bottom, they're starting at the bottom. They're trying to get here, and they did pretty well. They participated and won 4 out of their 5 competitions until the bad things happened, and our hawk went hard rather than smart.
To be fair, it was only one of the competitions we were in we did bad. It was me who failed, but we did do well everywhere else. So
You did.
I said it was a pretty good showing for us at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, no, I fully committed to letting you guys get your role on for making a good presentation. But I do want to know what you want to do to clean up your semi-unconscious, has wood punji stick wood trap stuck in his leg looking teammate before you have to wheel him in for a dinner of high muckety muckness now before you get started and deal with maybe Jerry, maybe not. There's been some ongoing Jerry beef. No Jerry, no razor wind, as they said.
No, no one says it. No one says it.
No one says it for those that... I'm going to make that a thing, by the way, for all Apochromatic games. That's my goal as a side note. For all those viewers that have watched our Cyberpunk game and now this, you can get that running theme going.
It's a family name.
But yeah, it's a family name. It's generational. But yeah, so... Yeah, Court of Blades, Cyberpunk confirmed, same universe.
City of Mists. When we report it, I have plans for Razor Wind. So.
Excellent. Keep it going. I already have my plans for it for the game that shall not be mentioned right now. Let's move on to bitten back in here in this reality, though. So you guys have a few hours to clean up your hawk before Din Din, before the supper, dinner. We looked it up last game, and I can't remember if it's dinner or supper again because I'm ADHD brained and I don't remember things like that. But what does everybody want to do? Because we have some time to kill and some outfits to put on, and figuring out what you want to do.
I mean, I am out of it, y'all. I'm in your hands. You figure it out. If you guys,
this is the time you wish to betray Vincent, this is the time to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, I mean, intrigue. Put tattoo me, whatever.
draw
Definitely not
phallic
gonna do that.
draw phallic symbols on his forehead. Whatever you need to do. There's
Think
a
about
Kuth
it.
there's a Kuth with beef, so it might happen.
I do think about it very, very seriously.
This is the time to check to see what's really under that eye patch.
I don't
actually
think
kinda
Babs wants to
tempting.
know.
That's a betrayal of trust, if I've ever heard it.
Betrayal!
Oh, I think the most important thing, like, logically, would be to, like, make sure that, you know, whatever, like, medical staff is on standby gets, like, the splinters and everything out of
Okay.
his leg.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would definitely let whatever medics are on standby, have a first call on, like, what needs to be done for his long-term safety.
Sure. I believe there is a healing roll. I don't remember what your house gets something for healing, doesn't it? The healing type of your house, I believe. Is it physical, I believe?
Oh, I did not know.
Open up a PDF. Jeez.
I
what
have
type of
I have
situation?
to just scroll through it to the correct place. Where the correct place is, I'm not entirely sure.
There is the house.
I think
There's
back
the house
up
sheets.
from where I
I'm
am.
gonna check that real quick. Court of Blades house sheets. As I open up my own things on my other screens. I have 6 screens over here.
Ooh, fancy. Us are lowly. Most of us probably only have one screen. I have.
When you roll to recover from harm, mark an extra tick on your progress clock. I assume you would like to roll to recover from harm
Yeah.
in this scenario.
Yeah.
Healing harm in between errands is handled by the house's physician or grace. They begin with a plus 2d in both tinker and channel. Additional skills and healing is obtained as the house advances in rank. A grace rolling to heal physical harm does so with standard effect, greater effect on arcane. And a physical roll to heal arcane harm does so with standard effect, greater effect on physical harm.
There you go. So it happens between errands, so we don't get to roll for harm now. It's not until it's over, but we can make the cosmetic changes and pick the wood out, and we're gonna say it's gonna be rough. By the way, you're under the effects of this severe harm for the dinner, so we'll see if you open up your mouth and cause an all-out war between you and Bastion. That's the goal, right?
Sure. Wait, I thought we. Wait, no. Remind me how.
Your concussion, you can't remember.
Okay.
You're concussed.
That's fair.
Figure it out.
You know what?
You'll figure it out.
I'll method this shit. Let's do it.
Do not give yourself a concussion. Do not method act that.
The
at all.
migraine was just a precursor.
Oh, jeez. That was me recovering.
Yeah.
I'm getting back.
Yeah, do not. Like, concussions are serious business, folks. Don't give yourself a concussion to method act ever. Thank you, Taylor, for the rules. I appreciate you looking out. All right.
There's a lot more in depth, but that seems like the easiest and what would pertain in this situation.
That is all that pertains to this situation. I couldn't remember if it was at the end of the errand or not, but that's what we'll have to make sure to roll.
Yeah, because
All
then
right,
it
so-
has other things in downtime, which also feels like after the errand. So
Yeah. So we'll have them clean, dress. Does anyone dress Vincent, or do you have the servants dress Vincent? Does somebody help to oversee this process?
I think that's Vidya's job is to kind of be the overseer and the one who barks orders at the hired help and so on and so forth. It feels like that's what she's very good at doing.
Sure.
I feel like she's having to stop me from having them dress him in like the absolute opposite to what he's like used to wearing or comfortable in. I'm like trying to give him like frilly, colorful shirts, and you're like, stop.
No, stop.
I'm like, I didn't draw on his face though.
Yes, I know you didn't draw on his face, and I very much appreciate that. Remember,
But I just want a nice blouse on him so he can play basketball later.
Skins versus blouses.
Yep, shirts versus blouses. You know where you bought that shirt. It wasn't the men's section. All right. There we go. But yes, so we get all that together. How does everybody else dress? And then I guess Sparrow gets to tell us how Vincent is dressed.
Oh Lord.
So I'll let Briar go first on the dress because I know Briar's got some fashion tips, and Briar's also trying to attract some attention of hot masked men.
You know that I am simply about the outfits.
You are. This is
I'm
you're
simply
here.
about the outfits.
You're here to play fucking Fashion Souls, not Dark Souls.
This is really just like a Barbie dress-up game for me. It has a medieval theme, and it's all theater of the mind. But once I'm done drawing him in armor again, because that's what I'm doing, then we'll do fancy clothes. So this is like a fancy schmancy dinner, or it's just like a celebratory.
This is a celebratory upper business casual dinner. You don't want to go too far because then it makes you look like you're trying to be better than everybody else. But you don't want to dress down because then you're a schlub. And some squire, some bard somewhere else sings some rendition of No Scrubs. I'll see if I can find a medieval cover of that real quick.
Okay, so there's definitely a clear embrace of like the pirate-ish theme of House Almari. So Briar wears a shirt that has a cravat that comes off the middle. It's like a kind of like a chiffon sort of deal. He has a lot of rings, which it's like they're decorative, but also if he needs to punch someone on another person's behalf, it will hurt. He also has, what did I give him? I gave him two hoops on his ear, so those are visible now that we're not in a fighting context. His pants are probably a little bit higher waisted, not dramatically so. He has a very nice belt that actually is functioning this time, and then one that is just decorative. His boots are no longer his riding boots, but a more polished black leather boot. And he, I think, still dons a sword, but it is a more like ceremonial, decorative kind of thing, and not like his main combat deal.
Fair enough. And then I'm gonna go with our very Babs, our very couth individual. What does Babs dress up for a fancy-ish dinner, or does Babs not get the in between of the fanciness and go full blown hyper fancy?
Well, I feel like at first she didn't realize she had to wear something different than she already was. She's like, I put a skirt on. That's enough, right? So I think is probably just fully letting Leona, what's your character's name?
Vidya. Dresser.
It's like, I thought the skirt was good. Do I put on this blouse that I tried to put on? Why have I forgotten everybody's names?
Skirt and blouse, or Vidya's wearing a dress, so you could wear a dress. Right. Skirt and blouse it is then.
Yeah. Still has trousers on under the skirt. Just in case. It's less easy of a tearaway, but
yeah.
There's a dagger hidden in her boots, so she can make it a tearaway if she needs to.
Beautiful. No, poor Vincent.
Dress.
It's a cutaway. No, poor Vincent is dressed appropriately for Vincent. Vidya will not let anything untoward befall him. And as mentioned, Vidya Almari is wearing a dress.
So Vincent, who's kind of out of it this whole time, does wake up in a moment of fear that they're drowning in the bathtub, and there's like, oh, I'm in the bathtub. Okay, everything's cool, because you were dirty, and they were not going to take you to dinner that roughed up. So some servants had to bathe you, and you just woke up with that. Okay, no, I'm good, everything's fine.
Is the bathwater pink because I'm bleeding out, or has that been taken care of?
No, that's been taken care of. That your legs out of the
Don't
bathtub.
die.
They didn't put
Okay.
they didn't put your leg in the tub.
Okay.
Like
Well,
it's like hanging out. It's where you have the slipping moment of like falling back in. You're like, oh, I'm in the bath. All right, it's cool.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's fine.
How did I get here?
Everything's fine. Hey, yeah, basically it was the how do I get here moment. Yep. Vidya's standing there, probably overseeing the servants.
Yep.
So
Oh, easy. Whoa, you're fine. We just need to get you cleaned up for dinner.
Did I win?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, that makes me feel like I didn't win.
No,
Okay, that's fine.
but you got across the finish line.
That's good.
Yeah.
What happened?
Can we talk about that part later?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Where are my pants?
They are, and like Vidya has been like very much keeping her eyes in a very respectful position this whole time. They are currently being cleaned and mended. The staff will provide you with appropriate, comfortable clothing for tonight. Things that you like.
Okay. My leg really hurts, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, just take it easy, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
That sounds good.
good. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go get ready now. And Vidya leaves. Vidya will change into oh god, is it very Regency era? Like what's this time period?
whatever you need it to be, according to the book, basically.
Okay,
It's just they
fair
kinda
enough.
give-
Fair.
I've been thinking
I-
Regency in my head, you know?
I have
I've
as
been
well.
thinking mostly Regency, but yeah, they don't
I have as well.
actually get
Okay,
super exact.
cool. Vidya will go hi fem. This is
Yes.
her like
Nice.
social moment. So it's just like it's like you know when the girls are being introduced to the queen and Bridgerton in like the Bridgerton balls or whatever. Like she is the epitome of like sparkling feminine whatever she can put together. That's still very much like her house
Nice.
colors and very like resplendent and representative. Is kind of her goal.
So did Vincent give you a fabric Vincent liked at some point in time? Because my default is like crushed velvet. Like it's just crushed purple velvet Vincent. But that's just me being an awful storyteller.
You just want me
Oh.
to look like Prince. That's what you're doing here. That's what you're trying
It
to do.
is. It is what I'm trying to do here.
So, does our darling uncle have a favorite fabric?
Oh, he's a silks guy. He's a silks guy.
Well, then we're wearing silks. God damn it!
Yeah.
Oh, I
There
can
you
do
go.
silk instead of chiffon. That sounds good.
Yeah,
You
never mind.
know.
Babs is totally in. As soon as she slips that skirt on, she's like, oh. And then takes off the
Yeah.
trousers.
Like-
It's like, this is
like-
more comfy.
Vidya like puts a hand on her hip, looks at Bazzer, point like,
Oh, he's
Okay, I get it.
He's a silks guy.
We are also therefore silks people.
How could he not be? I couldn't name another.
It's the
fabric
one
off
thing
my
that
head.
truly binds us as a group.
These are house colors and silk.
There's so
Amen.
many subtext there that we're not going to make. All right. Dun-dun-ch. Wait
How
for Leon
dare
to
you all
recover.
do this to me? Oh God!
Oh, I know. How dare I make you
I-
laugh and entertain you?
No,
know.
How dare
I'm
we have
yours.
fun during our game?
Listen, I laugh during my games. I don't ever make that undignified laugh that I just did. It's the goddamn Regency game.
Yeah. If you can't laugh at the Regency era, what eras can you laugh at?
Women were not allowed to laugh in the Regency era.
Yep.
It's
But I'm
against
taking
the
that
law.
back. I'm taking that back, though. All right. So, meanwhile, back in our knotted silk attire, we didn't. We ended up. So silks set up, things set up. You will get a message from the staff that your uncle will probably be in attendance at dinner at some point in time, but not at the beginning. So it is very much on you.
Classic.
He's
It's
gotta be
very much on you to
fashionably
set
late.
up. Well, it is on you as the key and his niece to set up which house he's going to need to approach about finalizing a deal when he arrives.
Typical. I could have seen that coming a mile away.
You could have, but you have to take care of good old Vincent here, so you're gonna have to figure out how to juggle that. Because I mean, I guess you could leave Vincent with Babs and see what mischief happens.
We can take turns. I'm open to taking turns.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't
I can leave
need like
Vincent
a
with Briar.
chaperone. I don't need like a chaperone. Get
Yeah,
me
but
away.
I'm
You
like,
can
you
be
might.
my wingman, literally, because you're the hawk.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. 15 minutes ago, you were gonna method act a concussion. You kind of need a chaperone.
Okay. Okay.
You done forgot what you said.
Just I'll be Briar's wingman. I'll
Sure,
be there.
sounds good.
I'll be there to cheer you
You
on.
do have a bird to give to Briar, and nothing makes a better first impression than a bird on somebody's arm.
Wait, if you're my wingman and then the bird is your wingman, then is it wingmanception? Is it exponential wingmanship?
It's just wingman squared.
It's just wing men.
It may become wingman cubed. We're not sure yet.
Amazing.
I guess I'll call Cecilia as soon as we're outside, and I'll need my it's a falconer's glove, but it's a raven, because it would be impolite to just have a raven's claws in my hand. But
It would be impolite.
So
Does Cecilia have an outfit for this evening?
oh my gosh, are we gonna put a little? Can I put a little?
Let's go.
Can I put? It's a bird's, right?
An animal in a little outfit. Woo!
Okay.
I
Cecilia has to still be able to fly. This is a fact. This do be a fact. And so far, I haven't found the tailor who can make double pants so that she can fly.
Pants are out, but you could do a vest and a hat.
I was thinking basically, I was thinking kind of like a effectively like a cameo necklace.
Sure.
That was all. I mean, she
That
can
would
still,
be on brand.
and
That would be on brand.
And I like
That's the
effectively-
ring I chose to wear for.
Oh,
Jim.
cute. And I will let the storyteller know, not everyone else know, that like the cameo is of my ex-spouse.
Sure.
Although I guess traditionally cameos are supposed to be of someone dead, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, let's not do that because they're not
No.
dead.
Well, they're dead to you.
Oh, that's very.
Oh my god, it's so petty.
Maybe
Yes.
it's of like a dead family member of your ex-spouse who looks a lot like them because of like the family resemblance.
Maybe. Let's just put that on hold. But it is.
It's a
like,
cameo.
It's sentimental, and I use it to carry messages.
Sure, not a problem.
So.
Is there also like a singular red bandana you have for the bird just in case they have to be a gangster? Or no?
No, I don't need to do anything else.
Okay.
I am not a gangster. This bandana belongs to my dead dog. Disclaimer. That's why I keep it here.
Max, I want you to know that implies that your dead dog was gangster. So
she was really smart. Like I think that she could speak and she just chose not to, but I wish in her final days that she would have confirmed the suspicion for me. And for that I will always hold a grudge. I digress.
And you've also managed to knock
I'm
Taylor's
insane.
camera out in this moment.
it's fine. It's fine. She'll be
It's
back.
all good.
But no,
All good.
I will have Cecilia with me in this party to be the, I guess the what's the thing, not my party
flight-
trick, but
Oh.
I guess that's my party trick. I have
You're
a raven.
wingman.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe my understanding is if they're bringing back, people are trying to bring back cloaks and falcons, and you're in the era of cloaks and falcons, so you get to be bird. You get to bird it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got everybody gathered. We're in our silks. So as a group, do you want to make a pitch on which of the two houses which one of the two houses you want to try to buddy up to? Because you've been trying to buddy up to Bastion, and that's been kind of backfiring-ish. Like, it's not full-blown, but that kind of has opened the door to go to their rival and try to be friendly with them, which are higher up on the food chain.
Their rival house. I don't have the listing in front of me.
Eladon, I believe?
Elida?
Elida, yes, which I believe our number 4 house. Yeah.
That's
I
not
did-
so far up that it would be unrealistic for us.
Yeah,
So,
I'm keen personally.
Let's go. I want to check out what's their thing. What is my?
I'd rather like aim a little higher.
It's gold does
first.
not rust.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I am in the.
I thought gold does not rust was your
That's-
rival house.
That's Alonda. I that's what it says
is it
on the
Alonda?
house sheets.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, you're right. Alonda's gold does not rust. You are 100% correct. I misremembered.
I would say, Vidya, you're kind of you're our face effectively.
Yes.
If you would like to talk to them, I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's okay. Yeah, I'd rather aim high since we could
Mhm.
one up House Bastion a little bit. Excellent.
And you've been very in between on whether you've been friendly with House Bastion or not. It's been
a mess.
We tried
We tried.
at first.
You've been ruining birthdays, is what you've been doing.
Yeah, that did happen. Stop
Twice.
reminding me. Stop
Not
reminding
just you. Not
If you
just
wanted
you.
to win
Oh,
on
right.
your birthday, you should have been a better archer.
That's right.
Mhm.
Remember now.
Ruining birthdays and hanging out with their staff and their help. But yeah, no, it is definitely within range for you guys to make a play a bit differently if you wanted to for them, because you kind of split there, or you could just go pick a different house and just try to buddy up to somebody that's not your rival.
Well, let's try for House Alonda since we do have a little bit going for us there. I do believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do also know they had a rival house. Hold on, let me look at my notes.
Bastion,
Their rival
our
house
enemy.
is Bastion.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Bastion-
yeah.
Bastion's
And
not your
Bastion's the
enemy
ones we pissed off a couple of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will note that one of House Elrond's reputations is uncouth, so they might get along a little bit better with.
And I suspect something with them in the House of Ill Repute, right? Or is that
You
just
do?
something I made up in my head?
No, you totally do.
Okay,
They
good.
were mentioned that they might have something to do with the House of Ill Repute as well.
That's right.
I rolled all those threads together. You are correct with my thread weaving.
Beautiful. So I'm game. I don't remember. Did I have an accent for this character? I don't think I did. I'm game.
You did not have an accent that I remember.
Not that I
Anybody
can
else
recall.
remember Taylor having an accent?
I don't
No.
think anybody did a really distinct accent for this game.
Solid.
No.
Nah. We were like, nah.
All
Okay.
right.
I decided I was
So-
going to let myself relax.
That was the whole point. The whole point is to relax and have a good game and laugh and have a good time. All right. So you all are a major house still, even though you're the smallest major house, which means there is an appropriate time for you as the ambassadors of this major house to arrive. Do you wish to arrive at the beginning of that time, in the middle of that time, or toward the end of that time? The social ramifications for our key is arriving right when you're supposed to be on there will strike some people as you're courteous and on time, and strike others as you're desperate. Arriving in the middle of the time will speak to everybody that you're usually pretty even-tempered, is the most neutral response from the most number of people, and arriving late could be perceived as slightly to the end of your time, could be perceived as slightly disrespectful.
I think coming from the background that he does, Briar's vote will be to go early, even though the best option is to go mid-time. His thought will be, like, can't be late. So,
Vincent's a hunter. He has to be early.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are we team earlies?
I would also say, like, from a certain perspective, the earlier we are there, the more intel we can collect.
True. It sounds like
But-
we're going to try and show up early.
Sounds good. So, you show up. You show up at the beginning of the time period that you all are. I do love this new auto tracking. It makes me feel very ADHD brain. Sorry. Yeah. No. So you guys show up early in your setup, and it makes you. It does appear that you guys get there. Slightly before Bastion, it looks like Bastion. This is like kind of the overlap time where Bastion would be late. If you guys had show up neutrally, if you guys show up in the middle of the time period you were accepted to, Bastion probably would have been there already. But it looks like you arrive a little bit before House Bastion does, giving you probably like 20, 35 minutes to smooze whoever you need to smooze without them having eyes on you.
Does it also like show us up to Bastion a little bit if we show up before? Like we've officially made them late.
No, because basically based upon your times, it's going to do something, but it wouldn't be surprising. Like, you as the key, and this being a big birthday celebration, it wouldn't be surprising for them to show up later and make a big deal about the birthday girl.
Got it.
Is there assigned seating or anything like that?
There's assigned area seating. AKA, there's, like, tables for each house, but there's not, like, this person is sitting here.
Okay. Cool.
Assigned levels of seating. It's assigned section seating. Some people are in, the VIP, and some people are not. But yes.
Cool.
So you guys have a little bit of time to smoosh before Bastion gets there. What would you all like to do?
With the house, Alonda, one, any of them here, and
They're all here before you.
beautiful. Two, who do I have the most in common with here? Like, is there some, like, whippersnapper going against the family name kind of kid, the rogue of the family?
So you throw out an old a whippersnapper, and I'm going to go completely the opposite because my brain immediately did that when making up a random NPC to generate for you that you want to have the most in common with. There is an old, uncouth, like, I've seen all of it, I'm too rich to care dude, just sitting there. Just being like that, like, I'm too old, I'm going to die in the next 5 years, and I've just lost control of my mouth. Like, not full-blown drunken uncle embarrassment, but like that whole guy where like, oh, he's getting senile. I'm not senile, I just don't like this thing. Like, and we're going to name him Patrice, because I like the name Patrice, and Patrice O'Neill seems to be the inspiration for this character all of a sudden.
I'm feeling it.
So, he is just an older gentleman who is clearly uncouth, and clearly has some money to throw around in the family if you do the once over on who you personally might have the most in common with.
I go over and just sit down next to him. Real relaxed.
Real relaxed. And he looks you over once, looks you over twice, and he's like, you either here try to be my friend or you're going to rob me, one or the other. Which one's it going to be? Like, just straight
First one,
up.
preferably.
Like, good-looking young kids don't sit next to me like that unless they look for something. Like, he is just playing none of it. And he's like, fair enough. He seems amused by your very quick-witted answer.
We'll see how the night goes, though.
We'll see how the night goes. Sounds good. And he's like, round of drinks! Like, that's very much the mentality. Like,
yes. I mean, I don't know if the spotlight's staying on me or if we want to go somewhere else, but I'm fully gonna start pressing, just chatting with them, but trying to, like, get some, like, knowledge, especially in the areas I'm wanting knowledge.
go ahead and make me your roll for that, and we'll come back to you once we spotlight back around the room. Because I think I'm going to spotlight the flock of looking to get around with the bird, Vincent, and Briar, and then we're gonna go to the key, and then we're gonna circle back around to Babs. This is what my plan is right now. So what is the flock looking to do here?
I think Briar will ask you first. Is there anyone that you want to talk to, or do you want like first grabs at the hors d'oeuvres before everyone else gets here?
Okay. I'm assuming I'm in a wheelchair of sorts, because my leg is out of commission. I just kind of roll up a little bit and I look around with my one eye and I'm like, I think we need to stake our territory. And by that I mean, let's sit down, get some food in us, and see who's around. And then
You want to make me a quick survey?
I mean,
check,
I
Vincent,
absolutely love, because
based upon that idea?
I'm good at those. So
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
I can roll also just in case, but I presume your roll will be better than mine.
I only rolled a 2. I mean, I have 2 pips in that, so it gives me a 4. But if you
Well,
want to roll,
number of dice, and you are on 4.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
I have
roll-
one die. I rolled a 5 on it. So.
Okay, let me see what I got. My second die that I just. Yeah, let's use that 5.
Let's use
My
that
dice-
5. We're gonna use Vincent's 5 on this for this. So, Vincent, you're looking around the room, surveying as you do. because you succeed with a slight complication, as we all do when completely not incredibly risky rolls. And it's probably because your leg is hurting you that you don't notice this, but then you see them. They're in their best garb. It's your rival. You only know it's your rival because they're wearing, like, their rig, but your rival clearly looks like is in a visage you haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But you know it's them because you recognize all their signature gear, and they're walking right towards you.
Do you have a look on your face as this is happening?
My face is red with embarrassment and my eye is wide, and I'm kind of looking at you panicked because I don't know how to respond. I am always in control and I'm literally bound. This is
I've got this.
New feelings.
And then it was phenomenal how you stepped up to finish out that meeting, that closure. I mean, I could have never done it on my own. I'm so thankful that you were there to help me out.
Yes, I'm always happy to help. Always good to be.
Are you? I see you're making new friends and winning new influences here, Vinny. How's it going?
I don't.
And
you know
what Briar sees. What Briar sees is this very, the best way to describe, probably like 5'11", but like 6'4" in the boots. Androgynous form. Like you're like I'm not. That could be even. I don't. It's attractive. It's very attractive, but you're not sure. You're like that's just an attractive being. It's got kind of that alien grace to them. And you kind of get the whiff of certain little magical trinkets on, but the thing that you followed with Vincent's eye was the rig. They're carrying what appears to be a clearly custom gun of some sort, which is what Vincent spotted to spot this person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Only one
Aristal
person would want that. Aristal.
Yeah, Aristal is their name.
You know, I don't like being
And did
called
this
Vinny.
person participate in the contest earlier?
They did. They participated as a freelancer and also participated as a freelancer in the race.
Okay.
Did they? So they did the shooting contest.
Mm-hmm.
Aristal did. Okay.
And therefore lost to you.
Technically,
They were not paired with Vincent.
Oh, right.
Because keep in mind, a lot of the ones before the race were all things that were disqualifying groups. So, they did not shoot against Vincent. There was some finagling. There was an attempt at bribery, and it did not go well for Vincent trying to bribe his way into some shooting. So yes.
Yeah, Vincent is like, Aristal, I don't like to be called Vinny. Don't call me that. It's.
Yeah, but you wear it so well.
Okay.
Who's your friend?
Yeah, I don't believe we've met.
We have not.
Aristal, this is Briar. They're the charge of my employer, and I'm helping the house Almari with some work here. I'm a little incapacitated, as you can see. But
Aristal will offer a hand to Briar, and it's offered in a manner that Briar kind of has to make the decision whether Briar wants to kiss it or shake it. It's very much like, this can be perceived in whichever way you want to go, but it's very clear that the ball is in Briar's court. And Vinny/Vincent knows that this is a thing that Aristal does to throw people off kilter. Very clearly. Like, this is a thing that, like, if people can't maintain control or maintain their composure on Aristal always pushes that social agenda.
I think that Briar has his sights pretty set on fucking Golden Mask Duochrome tonight, and also is respectful to not flirt with someone that has some kind of history with Vincent, given his reaction. So he will give a firm handshake.
Excellent. You are met with a very firm and lithe returned shake, one that's kind of betrays the amount of strength hidden under that frame that you are currently shaking the hand of. So, also with the educational background of Briar, I'm not going to make you roll for this. You're fairly sure this person probably has magical enhancements.
That checks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For those of you that have seen it, because I'm old, I'm going to make... It's a very Eon Fluxy vibe, by the way, coming off this.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Aeon, but that shape, that look.
Yep.
If everybody remembers that old animation.
There was a movie, wasn't there?
There was, with Charlize Theron, who broke her neck filming that movie, by the way.
That's horrifying.
Had to have neck fusion surgery later because of it. There's your fun fact for the day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a fact, but it wasn't fun.
Yeah. Well, But yes, you get a firm handshake back from Aristal. And nice to meet you. Briar, you said?
Briar.
Of
And
House
you see him kind of
Alamar?
figure out if he's going to say like his family name or his house name. And he goes, Almari. Briar.
Of House Almari. Excellent. So what's it been like working with Vincent? And there's like an eye roll. You can hear it in the way it's done, like not calling him Vinny because like it's.
I think Vincent is a catch. It was foolish of another house not to pick him up sooner. We're very happy to have him.
Oh, excellent. I mean, he is good at catching things. I won't lie.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Oh, can I clarify like a universe thing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like taboo or like supposed to not be spoken of like what Vincent does as a profession, or is it just like an accepted thing that like hunters exist?
Yes and no. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, in high regard, you don't point out your attack dog. Like, it's
Okay.
very much one of those things. You don't put on display your bounty hunter. Like, you can talk about he's good at this and good at that, but you don't blatantly say, this is my bounty hunter type
Got it.
situation.
Cool.
It's an understand implied thing. You don't brag about your hunting hound, for lack of a better term.
All right.
So it's not like it's frowned upon, but it's not spoken about openly in polite society type situation.
Makes plenty sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I believe I saw you at the joust. You embarrassed a very large, arrogant man earlier.
Sometimes you have to do what you have to do for the sake of your house. I did my best, and luckily my best was enough today.
You didn't enjoy it at all.
I did. I quite enjoy. I quite enjoy the joust. I enjoy working with horses. So.
Oh, excellent. And you get this look over, like Alamar is going to sit, and then just nah. Like, there's a story that Vincent can tell you about horses that involves a horse thief later, but I'm going to leave that story for him to tell.
Don't bring up the horse thief. Don't bring this stuff up in front of the kid. The kid doesn't need to know any of this stuff.
Why not?
I don't think
Everyone
we need
should-
to engage
everyone
in
should know who they're
anything
working
that's
with.
going to make my dear friend uncomfortable. However, I did see you shoot today as well. That piece you have is quite interesting. I never have been one to understand firearms.
Well, they take a bit of understanding here and there, but this is a very custom work piece. There are some individuals that I'll be more than happy to go over with you later, but I was gonna let you spend some time with your brand new friend. But if you wanted to talk shooting later, myself and like Alamar turns and waves at your masked friend. And there's a slight nod back. It's very respectful. Whereas Alamar is clearly being like kind of like that oozing flirtatious everything around them type mode right now. The return from your masked friend is very graceful and not discerning of like engaging with that action.
I'm gonna give
There'll be a nod back. We're going to be discussing some custom pieces later if you care to join us.
I'm gonna look at Vincent for a second, and then look back at them and go, that would be good with me.
Oh, excellent. Well, I hope to see you there, Briar. Pleasure. And Alamar goes to walk away, and as Alamar goes to walk away, you can see Alamar, like, walks away, but, like, behind Alamar is your individual you wounded earlier today, kind of looking at you in an awkward look of awkwardness.
God, which one?
The one that well, you had an interest in, that you took a chunk out of their face.
Yeah. Max did not know that was totally happening, so I was not prepared for that. I do want to, now that the other individual has walked away, like,
Sure.
Vincent, who is that asshole? Yeah.
We
and
will
we can
totally
chat
get
about
back
that
to that
when we
in
get
a
back.
moment. Yep, you guys can chat about that, and I'm going to come back to our key, who is surveying the room, I assume, and assessing all of the political machinations that are happening as we speak.
Precisely. I think her first move is to kind of do a very like sociable sweep of the room, you know, like you know how like when you show up at a party and you like walk about the room and you're not necessarily like looking to speak to one person in particular, but like greeting everyone as you kind of go, getting a vibe, getting a feel, getting a taste for the ambiance.
So just get kind of ambiance. You're not looking to get anything out of it other than social niceties, right? So
Social,
if you don't
yep,
want,
social
if
niceties.
you don't want anything out
kinda,
of social niceties, no roll is required.
It's she's earning goodwill and like good points right now before she like dives in too deep. You know, you gotta like warm up the crowd a little first.
Mm-hmm. It's in too deep. Yeah. I'm happy someone else joined me there. Thank you. But yeah, so the vibe is most people are pretty happy. There are some people definitely talking about your house in general. Mostly about the joust, in all honesty. That is actually the biggest exchanges of the joust. When you're also hearing about the post-joust interaction between Briar and our nobleman.
Hopefully good things.
Just that it was well played at the end of the day. That the noble played that our noble, who we've not named, has played their cards appropriately, and managed to make the faux pas of their second not matter. And did so very well publicly. There were a couple people concerned about your runner, but it's good to see they're not dead, because they didn't, cross the finish line until much later. There's lots of talk about how Axel got disqualified, about how that's a thing. And yeah, no, this seems to be serving the purpose it's supposed to be serving at the end of the day. You can see kind of up above, the first among equals, as we all say, the prince's entourage and their individuals are dining and discussing things. I assume you don't try to butt all the way up there yet.
No.
Okay.
I'm just working my space, I think, as I would call it, on the floor. Like this is kind of like my territory. That I feel comfortable in. Like that's like a deeper swimming pool. This is my swimming pool.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking to my swimming pool. But I definitely like greeting people as I go. I'm like, if anyone asks about our the runner from my house, I said, oh well, thankfully they're all right. Just those very nice like brief pleasantries and yeah.
As you swing around to the new decision, your attempt to your now abandonment of Bastion, you can see that Babs is making friends with this older gentleman who they're probably 6 shots deep at this point in time. Like it is, it's up, drink, headshot, drank.
Didn't even start yet.
I will let Babs do their thing, and I will not interfere with that. I'm just like carefully watching from afar for now.
Yeah, but you will know that is Karel, and he's basically not necessarily in charge of the house, but he's one of those people that has a lot of money in the house, and his opinion matters, but people don't really like him because he's gotten brash in his old age. But because he has a large amount of wealth and gold doesn't rust, as their slogan says, he still has stroke. So he's clearly not the leader, but he's high enough up the food chain that if you befriend him...
Yeah, it's influential for sure.
Yeah, but he's also known to be pretty uncouth, so...
Yeah. Well...
you sent the right person.
You mentioned the prince. Is there any... The prince in their entourage, is there any kind of gossip or tea about them that I should know?
The gossip is they really enjoyed their festival. They maintain power. They were going to try to do it again next year probably. But the great game is always played, and some people win and lose things as you go. So it's hard to say if they're going to continue to maintain the power threshold they have.
Okay.
But right now they're very happy about it. Overall, it's pretty well done.
Okay.
Things seem to be going well. Everybody kind of likes the party. As you're starting to make your way around, there's kind of a break and lull in conversation, and the announcement of House Bastion is made entering. They don't go full blown like gauche, but just sly of gauche, by the way. For the birthday girl, who apparently needs to feel better after she got disqualified from shooting, because some people shoot other people under the rug.
Look, it's the day after her birthday. We don't care.
No, it's still her birthday.
I thought yesterday was when the birthday speech was happening and we interrupted and then we went to sleep.
Oh, that was a different birthday.
Oh, there's multiple birthdays?
They have back-to-back birthdays.
No, it's the same birthday speech, but the date of her birth was today. He was doing the speech at the dinner before. Because some daddies pamper their girls a little too much.
Okay. I was just gonna say maybe it's birth week. You know, they celebrate all week long.
Yeah.
Like on Victorious. That one episode. That definitely dates me. But that's fine. That definitely dates me.
I don't even know what that is, so yeah.
Well, with the entrance of House Bastion, I will kind of float my way into the names, the House Ilanda group. Like I'm kind of like just kind of standing in proximity, and I'm trying to overhear, especially if somebody goes, "Oh, how gauche!" Like she's gonna pounce on that opportunity. So she's a predator on the prowl, but not quite ready to pounce.
Sweet. So right before you get to pounce, I'm gonna cut back to Taylor real quick, and then we're gonna cut back to you.
Yeah.
Bastion makes this big entrance, and Karel is like, ugh, and just is basically like kind of like talking some shit. Do you want to try to make a roll? What was your roll?
It was a 6.
You got a 6. Nice.
I got a 6.
No, got a 6. So as you're drinking with Karel, and he kind of starts doing that Holden Court thing that people do when they're at parties. So you've managed to, because you showed up so early, you've managed to ingratiate himself, and you've been drinking with him for a little while, especially even before like course 1 is served, so he knows you can go. You basically kind of find out that he gets bored with things really quickly. He's getting up there in age. There's lots of rumors around bad things maybe happening to him. You've also found that he's important to the house, like Arkino's, and that he's got stroke. He's not in charge, but he has enough stroke to make a difference.
Yeah.
He does make some cutting remarks as House Bastion enters, and you can tell that maybe the whole house doesn't dislike Bastion, but he at least does. It's very much the impression that he's like, meh, meh. But you also get like a little bit of a slip that he might have some street connections based upon some of the things he's talking about, because you're a Kuth and you know how the streets is. You do have a bandana just in case you need one.
Good to know. Good to know.
But yes, would you like to pursue that line of questioning at all? Because
Yeah.
you get a 6, so is there something specific you're looking for?
Yeah. I think, just as the conversation goes and the things, and I want to know, tell me the stories of your life, the ones that, like, you don't tell most people, or, like, most people can't handle, just, like, the goofy shit. And then, I want to just kind of maybe swing the conversation away and be like, man, seems like you're out and about. If you're getting old and bored, I heard there's, like, a new hot place. I don't know its name, because I guess I don't know or anything, but, like, everybody in the streets talking about it. See if he's like, oh, cool, or like, I know.
He's more like, I know, but he doesn't let slip, not in this company. He's not wasted.
Oh, this-
He's drinking.
Oh, if people are with us, then no, never mind. I'm not going to
Yeah,
bring
this-
any of that up.
Ah,
I thought
okay,
if
yeah.
we're by ourselves, yes.
No. He's got to the point where there's probably about like 7 to 10 people at the table with you.
Gotcha,
And you've ingratiated yourself into his crew for the evening. Like you've entouraged up with this guy.
Okay. Then I think instead of that, because I'm not going to ask about shady shit if other people are around. I think I instead want to kind of maybe push on the Bastion thing, and just be like, who pissed you off?
No, he'll let you know that his grudge is old school. So heard the father of the birthday girl and him competed over the same woman like 22 years ago, and he has not let that shit go. It is that level of motherfuckery.
Then I think, a little playing dumb and a little like buddy, just being like, so that's spurring territory things now, or is that like someone else's battle?
No, that's just us being better than them now. Like, I don't believe she chose. Like, it's very much she backed the wrong horse back in the day, and we're gonna show her every chance we get type situation. It's very much the like you get the impression that like he still probably carries a flame for this woman, but like is so hurt by it that he's like, nope, I'm gonna show them up. Our house is gonna be better than them forever, and she's gonna forever regret leaving me type situation. Or at least picking him over me type situation.
Gotcha. Okay. I think then I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on this lady, just throughout, see kind of like maybe who she's talking to, the interactions, but wanting to stay and like sit and hear other people coming in.
That he describes her and gets her name, but she does not appear to be at the dinner.
Oh, interesting.
But you get the impression that the daughter is probably her daughter.
Gotcha. Interesting. But yeah, I want to just kind of keep a little ear out on anyone that is chatting with him and anything of kind of interest.
He will ask if you know who outshot her earlier today.
And that was Vincent, right? They were paired, or who was she paired
Pretty
with?
sure it was Briar.
It was Briar.
Briar did shooting?
It was for
It was
archery.
our-
versus-
Oh, for archery.
Yeah, it was for archery.
I was being like, oh, yes. Unfortunately for her, but maybe good for you, it was someone in my house.
Oh, well, if you could introduce me later, that would be great.
I would gladly.
Excellent. I'm going to shoot back over to Sparrow with Leona.
Who was having a snack.
Nope. I have the best. That's my old waiter. It's my old waiter kicking in. Is there food in your mouth? I immediately must talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Tropes are a troping.
Sometimes things are a stereotype for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm ready. What you got?
All
What
right.
you got for me?
Well, I mean, I'm asking you. What you got? Everybody's here now. The party's kind of kicking off. They're about to serve
Yes.
the first course.
I'm hoping to really get cozy with someone powerful at House Alanda. I was hoping that they might kind of be like sneering at House Bastion as well.
Sure. So what I'm letting you know is they're gonna be they let everybody know now that everybody's arrived. They'll be serving the first course soon.
Okay.
It is fairly clear that Babs has embedded herself with Carl, which means you might want to find somebody from that house to join you at your table. So when they serve dinner, your table is not short people. So it looks like you are in negotiations. You're now in the phase where you need to make everything look right when it comes to this situation. Because Babs has very much done her job of making it clear there are negotiations going on by ingratiating herself to somebody. So you need to pick somebody to smooze to fill out other spots at your tables.
Yes.
You might want to get some freelancers, you might want to get some people from that house. How would you like to go about putting more people at your table to raise what appears to be your social stock?
I definitely want to invite some folks from House Alanda, which is a bold move, but I want to be bold. And since she hasn't kind of schmoozing around with the House Alanda people, she will is there a eligible bachelor?
Sure, I'll say there's always an eligible bachelor. Let's be really clear.
Yeah.
There's this in this setting. There's always an eligible bachelor.
Yes. They don't have to be very eligible. Like, it doesn't have to be a great pairing. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a good pairing, but there's always an eligible bachelor. Somebody roll me a D3. I don't care who. Somebody roll me a D3.
Who has a D3 on hand?
It's just a D6.
Two.
Thank you. I'm like, I love how Taylor just knew. It was like, boom. Like, I got Taylor. There are
No one's ever
two.
asked me that before.
No one's ever asked for a D3 before. I gotta get you in some more games that use D3s. I got you. There's Lancer uses a D3. There's lots of
I've
things that
never
use a
played
D3. I'll get you. Well, giant robots are amazing. We'll get you in some giant robot action at some point in time. So there are two eligible hasters in the house. One of them is like the eternally eligible bachelor, in the sense that like the house keeps trying to marry them off and it doesn't work. In that sense that you're not sure if they're sabotaging or if it's just not working or if they're just kind of an ass. And then there's kind of a newer, up-and-coming, like, just recently kind of I don't want to say came onto the market because that makes it sound like a legend, but just recently kind of got themselves together and has started making a name for themselves, bachelor, that people have been kind of talking about. So really the stakes are which bachelor can you hook to get back to your table?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and like, I don't know if one of them's in a much higher position of power than the other.
One feels like the one that they send out because they need to send somebody who's a bachelor, and one sounds like an actual catch.
Yeah, let's go with the actual catch, the up and coming,
Okay.
gentleman, and yeah, I will approach them.
Sure. Would you like to roleplay out flirting with me and be awkward, or would you like to make some rolls? Either one's appropriate.
Bit of both. I mean, let's roll.
Sure,
and then
sounds
let's
good.
roll and then roleplay it out. See how it goes.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds
Okay.
good.
What on earth am I doing? Let's look at that. Let's start there. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, pick your stat you want to roll on this. There's a couple options here.
Can I roll sway?
I'll let you roll sway for this. You're being super friendly. One of your house members has already ingratiated themselves.
So that's two
would you
for
like
me.
to Would you like to push yourself and/or take the lady's favor in this situation?
I will push myself. So that
All right,
gives
mark
me
that
one more
stress.
die.
It does give you one more die. Mark
So that's
that
3
stress.
dice. I shall. Alright, so that's 3 dice. I'm trying to figure out if I can get more dice
I mean,
somehow.
if you could try to find somebody to assist you. So, I mean, the only option would possibly be Taylor, who could possibly try to use the ingratiating situation that they find themselves in to let everybody know that you're also in the same house and spending time with you would be beneficial to them.
Yeah, that would be cool if Babs kind of flags Vidya to everyone to kind of
Yeah. Maybe I'll like call out, like invite you for a drink over or whatever. I'll be like, there's another member of my family I was telling you so many things about. Vidya, when you have a free moment, come join us.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. So 4 dice. I will let you get away with 4 dice.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, that was a lot of noise. There's a 5. Can I have the 5?
Yeah, you get the best one out of that. You're looking
I know.
You're looking for that. Yeah. So, what's that? It's like what 5 is successful, but there's a slight complication. You succeed in getting the guy you want.
Well,
I'm gonna crowdsource this complication.
I was gonna say maybe House Bastien notices.
Maybe that's not a bad start, but I want to see what the other group has to crowdsource because last time I crowdsourced, we got Jerry.
Well, say maybe this person that Vidya's pursuing doesn't necessarily have the best relationship with this old guy. So one, it could be like, opposite, or something. Maybe that could be a thing.
Or
there.
he could be related to the guy that he has beef with somehow.
No, not really. That doesn't fit together. They're in different houses. I'm gonna not go that far. What else we got? Logan, we got anything?
Let's see. Let's go. We've established that he's the new hotness on the block, right?
He is the new hotness.
Mhm.
He
How
has a
about-
nice carriage and everything.
How about the complication is you are not the only one trying at the exact same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes
Yes,
sense.
Thank you, Logan. That's so much better. I appreciate it. So you, as the sparrow, like skirt your way up into this conversation, and as you're doing that,
How do I do it? Can I
skirt your way up into the conversation. You brush past another lady and use your silk to immediately step in front. Like, excuse me, I'm talking here. And like, don't look at her, look at me. You're coming to my table type situation, and it turns out that he really is just a power bottom because we had big power bottom energy earlier, and you're very forceful, like looking at me conversation piece that utterly cuts off this other suitor immediately gets his attention. Like, they are all playing up to this idea that, you know, they, like, but no, you're like, hey, look at me. And he's like, I am looking at you, yes. That is the correct answer. That is what I actually wanted. You are right 150%.
I'm getting
This pirate
Old
just stole my
Spice,
heart.
I'm getting Old Spice commercial
Yeah.
vibes.
Goodness
Yeah.
me.
Look at me.
Look at me. You're at my table. You're coming back for the first course. And he's like, yes, ma'am.
Surely you would love to join my table.
He's like, I would. Like, and you, because you came on forceful rather than ha 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 girly, hi fem, he's like, yes, I love everything about this. Step on me, mommy.
Yes. Get
I
it.
love this!
Let's go, Vidya!
I didn't realize she was a mommy, but she is now. God!
Fuck yeah, she is.
Are you a mommy's boy? Do you want to be mommy's boy?
Briar is gonna be so proud.
Oh my god. Okay, excellent.
Do you need a moment?
I'm good. She will offer him her arm so that he
She
can,
will offer him or inform him he's taking the arm.
Oh, she will inform him. You're right.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right. You're right.
like,
It's more like when I say offer, I mean it's there, and it's like you're gonna
It's
fucking
there.
take it.
you're gonna
Yeah.
take it. Excellent.
Offer
So
is very
you'll-
kind of me to say.
Offer is very kind of you to say. So you'll scoop him up, and this other suitor will be aghast. If she had pearls, she would be clutching them. And you will denote
Smug.
You will denote that she is from, because I don't want to make her your rival house.
Is she from House Level?
No, I didn't want to make them.
Ah, that's
She's
her
from
rival
House
house.
Corvado. Yeah, she's
Ah.
from House Corvado, which means you might be slowly developing a negative relationship with that member of House Corvado. But it's fine. It's just one member of the house. You gotta
It's
step on people.
fine. Worse things have happened during the London season. She'll live.
Yeah. Worst things happened last night when you interrupted a birthday speech.
That too. We're not talking about that though. That is never to be mentioned again, as long as Vidya lives, if she can help it.
It'll probably get mentioned.
God damn it.
You're about to step on them anyway. That was the plan now. You switched plans.
Currently cut to
Switch
Babs.
tactics.
Babs talking to Patrice is just like, and she walked in during the birthday speech. It was amazing. He hates them. He'll think it's
He
great.
does. Yeah, you hear, she did what during the birthday speech? Yes!
And immediately there's the fan flies up and she's just like,
Yeah.
let's walk faster. Just
So,
gone.
You'll take him, or do you want him to give me a sway? I will let you give a sway roll if
Okay.
you want, or manipulate if that's better for you, whichever one you want to roll. Just as a general roll to see if you want to attract more people to your table that are other people that see you do this thing.
Ooh, what? Sway or what? Manipulate isn't a
Manip-
stat.
What is it? No, which one is it?
Command?
Command?
Is command?
Command. Thank you. Thank
I
you,
have
command,
more
not
dots than
manipulate.
sway, so I'm just gonna keep rolling
Sway.
sway.
That's fine to keep rolling sway.
Two dice. Let's see.
No. So
That's
you don't
a 1
manage
and
to
a 3,
attract any.
so never mind. I don't know if the
You
three
don't
can
manage
see.
to attract any more people, but people do talk about it.
I mean, I did,
So
I did bag a pretty big catch, so
yeah, you did.
I think that equals
show
it out.
up. Yeah, you did just show up and snag him. But yes.
Yeah.
But yes, so you and so as you approach the table, you've got actually no, because you rolled nothing good, and I like complications. You totally do attract some people. You totally attract this super androgynous looking, weapon on hip, individual that is a freelancer that is like. It seems that you want more people at your table. I'm sure Vinny would love to have me there.
You know Vincent.
We do business together.
I see.
And they'll introduce themselves with the same handshake, where you can pick whether it's like the dainty kiss curtsy slash that, or if you want to firmly shake the hand.
I will firmly shake the
Firmly
hand
grasp
because
it.
I don't trust no bitch in this place.
You get a very firm handshake back, like firmer than what you would expect based upon the frame and everything else that goes along with that. You're inviting people to the table. I like this complication more. So as the Sparrow reapproaches the table, as everybody's starting to set up for, you'll notice that they have an entourage, and it's this gentleman whose name I have to come up with. So someone give me a random name at some point in time, or I'll have to come up with one.
I
Here in a
think he
moment.
should be Alistair.
Well, that's two A names that we
Or
were
is
gonna
that
have
two?
at the table.
Oh, that is two A names.
I feel like he's got a very New Yorker name.
He's got a New Yorker name.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something about calling Vincent Vinny. Just he's like.
Oh no, that's already, that character's already been established. That's already our androgynous rival.
Oh, is this a different?
No, it's the same
We're talking
person
about-
that was.
We're talking about
Aristal.
your at this point your
Your power
bachelor.
bottom.
Yeah, your
power bottom.
We're naming him. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
Wait, does New York not produce
Actually-
power bottoms? Is that one?
No. The one who was calling me Vinny.
Bartholomew. Bartholomew. Vinny has already been established. We already dealt with Vinny earlier when they were like, oh crap.
Is there any way I could reasonably know that this guy is recently on the market, so like I recognize him when, like, maybe not know him personally, but like know the news, so that when Leona comes to sit with him, you can see the pride on his face.
Oh yeah, all day, all day,
Yes.
all day.
And then Vidya will absolutely make introductions and be like, "Oh, Brian, you must meet my new friend." And you know, she'll do all the proper niceties and you know, tell Bartholomew all about you and your successes at the what are we calling it?
The
Competition. Festival.
It's
That's
a
the word I was
festival.
looking for. And so on and so forth, and just very much ingratiate herself, and hopefully this up and coming guy will be willing to speak to her uncle. Is kind of her end game goal here.
Sure, not a problem. Yeah, no. So there's that, and you see a familiar figure that you already had to deal with earlier this evening, between Briar and Vincent, and they're just so happy to be able to join your table.
Is it Jerry?
No.
It's
Oh.
the bounty hunter.
I don't want to
got it.
talk to them,
Got
but
it,
at the
got
end of
it.
the day, a person at our table is a person at our table.
Yeah, Aristal. Yeah.
Aristotle.
No, I know.
I will
like,
run
there's
interference and make
That's
sure
di-
that Aristotle can't talk too much.
You'll find that becomes annoying, and you're gonna have to split your time between Aristal very, very
Yeah.
eloquently but uncouthly injecting, or trying to win over Bartholomew. So it's one of those things where, like, it's very clear that, like, Aristal isn't vindictive, but Aristal, like, for everybody else, especially after a while, like, Briar and Sparrow will definitely pick on the fact that the way that Aristal is ribbing Vincent isn't, I don't like Vincent. It's, I like Vincent. Like,
Vincent doesn't know how to emote. Vincent.
yeah, Vincent is missing the passes that Aristal is making at dinner.
Yes.
I don't know if Briar wants to try and schmooze the nobility or keep this fellow in check.
I am definitely there to try to help depending on what signs Vincent is giving me, make it go in a way, but I don't know when or how exactly I would discern that Vincent isn't picking up that this is flirting, because Briar has picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say. Vincent is on edge and is currently, like, this is not his element.
Oh, we'll run a play.
Okay.
Briar will check, like, his pocket watch and say, it is about time. You have to go just check in with the Grace. Do you want me to take you?
Sure, let's do that.
We'll be right back, everyone. Just a quick trip to redress the bandages to not damage these fine clothes. And I will wheel you out into, like, the hallway or whatever. And we'll go to the bathroom. I'll be like, alright, what's going on?
Alistair's a very accomplished hunter. Very good. Has a cool gun.
Like, did you guys fuck? Or, like, what's happening?
No! We haven't fucked. What? Briar, come on.
They're acting like it.
They act like that with everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, but they call you Vinny.
Because it gets on my nerves.
Yeah, that... Yes.
Are you seriously telling me that Alistair is interested in me?
When I see someone phenomenal with a sword, I am interested. You shoot a gun and are phenomenal with a gun. They shoot a gun and call you silly nicknames. The math is mathing.
I was never good with math.
Briar can also quickly tell, based upon the way that Alistair tells the stories about Vinny, that, like, he never actually frames Vincent badly. It's always something that's silly that happened, and they kind of did the save each other buddy comedy thing, but he never, they never frame Vincent in a negative light.
Yeah, they're pulling on, like, familiarity with you because they want to appear closer to you in front of us.
It's a lot to take in. Okay, Briar, I'm not good with relationships, with people. That's why I normally just hunt them down. That's easy. I get it. Hunter, prey,
Definitely unhealthy. We don't have to get into that today. But you and Vidya, maybe both, could
The fuck did I do?
talk. Well, you have established issues with relationships because you can tell when people are lying.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
We
that.
talked about this.
That
Yeah.
problem. Yes. Okay, I didn't do anything. I just have a problem. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm not the problem. I'm just a problem.
Yes.
You are not a problem. You have a
I
problem.
have a problem.
Yep.
Okay. What's the move? What's the plan? What do we do?
Are you into it?
What? That's a good question.
You into this vibe?
I'm. Okay, listen.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, listen. I like Golden. Like I want to talk to that dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm into it. I'm curious, and I'm supposed to go talk about gun parts, which I know nothing about. So why don't you just go with me when we talk to them, and then we can both make the play. This is the hand.
this is the hand motion.
It's both hands like this.
I kind of just nod, accepting. Okay, kid.
No, I want enthusiasm. I want enthusiastic consent. Are you interested in this person? Yes or no?
I'm interested in Alistair. Not Alistair. Aristotle. They're very.
Literally glitching.
Yes. My screen's glitching. Yes. Vincent's brain is running hot right now and trying to find the right words, and then she just kind of goes, I would very much like to get to know, outside of context of work, a person who I have many things in common with.
Okay, I'm gonna roll you to face the mirror, and I'm gonna be like, I put my hand on on your shoulder and say, tell yourself right now, I am a capable, intelligent, and attractive man.
I am a capable, intelligent, and attractive man.
Woo! Let's go!
Let's go! Yeah!
All right,
Wheel me out there! We're gonna get some!
all right, I'm gonna adjust your shirt slightly so it looks like wounds might have been like redressed, so things are just like slightly moved and can be readjusted in the presence of other people, and then we can go back in and rejoin.
So while they're having their power up powwow of wanting to get some,
He's just bad with emotions in relationships. He
It's
can
fine.
only think of chasing things and catching them.
and then he doesn't know what to do with them once he's got them. No, I understand.
Well, first
Do-
you tie
do-
them up.
Only if they're consenting and
I
Taylor, do you
I
have a
have
thing?
tools on my sheet that says to use to tie up people. So yes,
Yeah, that's not. We're going with this. Taylor, is there a thing you want to explore, or should I go with Leona's character here? I want to make sure because I'm about to launch into some stuff with Leona's character before they wheel themselves back. You're muted, by the way.
I mean, I feel like I've been, gotten in this guy's good graces and whatnot.
Yeah.
But now that he's got an entourage, I don't really know if I can like ask the questions I want to ask and like figure out some things.
Well, you kind of ingratiated yourself to the entourage. You're at their table for dinner, and even though your character
Oh, hell
might
yeah.
only understand part of this, you're now
Mhm.
making an open display of allegiance. The Sparrow took
Oh,
back
hell
somebody
yeah.
else, so like you guys kind of have to sit the dinner out in these situations. Like that's what that means when you go to do that. Because getting up
Cool.
and leaving during other courses is a sign of like that didn't work out. So the whole point is to sit your way through the dinner for a sign of allegiance.
Gotcha. Then yeah, I'm probably just doing that and then just, trying to work my way into conversation that's more and more comfortable. Tell him, probably really just because it's like a bunch of rich fucks, I'm assuming. So I'm probably going to really play in the like, I'm a quaint girl from the streets. Look at these crazy stores I have and try to be real endearing,
Sure. No, you managed to do that. Not every. So you'll quickly realize that most of his entourage is really rich people, except for the person who's almost directly to his right, which you put together after a while, has been there kind of since the beginning. They were like kind of behind him to start with, and then when you sat down, they moved to sit down closer. That's probably his bodyguard. Like he has a
making friends with
bodyguard
him.
that blends in with his entourage, and like very like you notice this because you've seen this thing before, but this is a very good professional protector.
I'm going to basically do like the dinner when you and I first met where we realized we had something in common that no one else at the table did, and just be like, yeah, and just point all the conversation to try and bring him in and be like, we're buddies, we're pals, right? And then that's pretty much it.
Do you try to bring the conversation together so you two are kind of having a more private talk, or are you trying to bring him into the center of conversation so you two are doing stuff while the guy's kind of holding court at the table?
Probably to the point that eventually we'll have more private chat,
Okay,
or
so
like
yeah,
if there's
you could-
bigger conversation, we're having sub conversation,
Sure, not a problem. So yeah, you definitely have a sub conversation with the bodyguard who doesn't look at you a bunch while the conversation is going on because he's working.
Okay.
But you'll quickly realize that he is somebody who kind of like enlisted in the local militia and then got a real job doing bodyguard work, and then like isn't from your block, but is like from like 4 streets down type situation and a bit older than you. And he lets you know that there's something he could talk to you that he and his boss can probably talk to you about in private later. AKA that inroad you're probably looking for into the House of Ill Repute in that situation you probably have, but it's not going to be at dinner in front of a bunch of nobles because you can't
Right.
talk about that.
Yeah, she's just trying her best to like keep her head above water and hang with the crew.
Yeah, you're doing all right. You picked the right person to do it with. The quaint storytellings have endeared you to some of the rich people, but they look at you more like a what's the best way to put it without sounding super disrespectful? Jesus.
Look, that's what she's going for. She doesn't want them to see her as an equal. Like, she
Yeah.
always wants to be the one that's like a little
it's like,
wild card.
so it's basically like, oh,
Yeah.
you're so cute type situation, not
Yeah.
an actual threat.
That's what she wants, because she doesn't want people to realize she's a threat, ever.
All right. So this is all taking place up until about the beginning of the main course, which we'll pause because there'll be an introduction of good old Uncle Omar, who's going to show up before the main course happens, because he doesn't want to be disrespectful. That would be disrespectful not to show up for the main course. So before that happens, we've got Leona and we said Bartholomew, right? That's the right name. Yep, that's the right name. Haha! Remembered the right name. So you two are sitting there having a quaint old time. You're in your silks, with your fan. What are you trying to endear with this new bachelor on the market? And are you over promising? Is the universal question.
Well, I think first, video would want to like get to know him, like take a deep interest in him, and like, please, no, tell me all about you. Tell me about your work. Like, what do you do?
You will quickly
kind of stuff.
realize this kind of bores him. Like, this is what he does all the time with every other suitor.
Damn.
That they spend their time doing this thing. And if you start taking the approach of, what are you doing? Tell me this. Tell me that. If you actually go kind of the, I'm in control, tell me what's going on route, you get much better responses much quicker. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
He
She
clearly
probably figures
is
that out.
so bored with the everybody fawning over me because I'm the new bachelor. Pamper me, tell me about me. Like, once you start telling him what to do type situation, he responds much better. He's just
perfect.
He's eternally bored of everyone fawning over him even this quickly. Like, it seems like this has probably been his whole life is people wanting that kind of interaction, and he just doesn't enjoy it anymore.
Got it. So the faster that I'm like, okay, I just want to like she's not fawning, she's demanding. She's just like, I want to know these things, but I'm gonna make it snappy, you know. And then she'll be straight with him. She'll be like, this is what I want from you. I want you to talk to my uncle, you know.
You want to talk to the uncle, and you want to we want to see about how do you? This is the key part. How do you arrange the wording for what you want and how you want an alliance? Do you, I want to know the wording you use and what you make him think, as you are the one clearly in the driver's seat. Because words are important.
Words are important. I think she. Let's role play it. I think she starts with, you're going to meet my uncle.
Oh, I'd love to meet your uncle. Uncle
Omar.
I've heard of your uncle. I've never met your uncle. He has some interesting business endeavors, from my understanding.
He does. Does that interest you?
Many things about your house, kind of looking at you in particular, have certainly become to my interest.
I'm asking you what about my uncle. Like, she's poking for the answer. Like, no. To tell me, I don't want you. This is what she says. Rewind. This is what she says. Don't dance around it. If there's something you desire from my uncle, you should tell me.
Two things. One would be some of his endeavors in the shipping of certain exotic alcohols, and two, your itinerary for the next few weeks.
Those could be arranged.
Excellent. Do you know when your uncle will be arriving?
Before the main course, so shouldn't be long now.
And almost on cue, there's that. Because I can't wait. I can't ask for a better intro than that. By the
He's
way,
so good. I love this uncle so much.
he doesn't saunter in more than somehow somebody starts playing on a lute shots. Somehow, I don't know how it works. It's just like shots. That. I see Sam. I see Max talking, but I don't hear Max talking. I don't know why. I just say Max.
That's gotta be pizzicato. That's plucking.
There's plucking. Shots. Everybody.
And Uncle Omar. You could just see Uncle Omar swagger into the room. There's no
He's
other way
like-
to describe it.
There is, and everybody's like, shots! Like, it's very much that moment.
Fancy dinner, but shots.
It's Omar. It's fancy dinner and shots. So, like, he shows up, he sits down at the table, he raises, like, you clearly watch him kind of do the nod, glass raise to clearly people he knows / they're allied with in the room type situation.
Yeah.
No one gave him a drink. He brought a drink to the party.
He always brings
well,
a drink to the party, let's be clear.
No,
It just appears in his hand.
He got a drink on the, like, he went by, did a spin move, had a drink in each hand when the spin move was done, and all of a sudden there was also, like, a crate of something delivered to the table while you were all distracted. Like, it was like that. It's like servants came in, and when you turned back around, there was an extra bar attached to your table. Like what just happened? When did that, like, you roll back into the room with Briar, and you're like, where did that extra bar come from?
This is like the last day of LARP at Gen Con where they just got a guy with a bar cart to come to the room.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much that. But yes. So yes, Omar kind of comes in, gives his nods as you guys roll back into the room, and your date for the evening looks up and is very impressed with his ability to make an entrance that's somehow flashy, but also not taking all the attention away from other people that seem to be more important than him. Like, he's flashy in that way that, like, somebody who's famous but not noble shows up and is flashy. It's real interesting how he makes that work.
Never a dull moment in our family. I think you'll like
No,
it
there's
here.
not. He comes in, gives you a big kisses on the cheek. So happy to see you,
Uncle.
He sits on the opposite side of you, that your date sits on. He doesn't like get between you and your date. He sits on the opposite side.
He doesn't sit. He doesn't sit on the other side of my date. Like, he doesn't attempt to.
He sits next to you.
Okay.
Because in theory, he's like the representative of the house as a whole. So the seating arrangement would be you would be the next in line. So the note
Got
to you is
it.
the next person.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was.
He does look fairly surprised / amused at Babs all the way over there, and raises the glass to Babs and then to Karel, like to both of them type situation.
I feel like we raise the glass back to Omar, then cheers each other and shoot.
And Omar's response is, of course, everybody. Like,
no, Uncle Omar, I was just telling Bartholomew that the Elnaris certainly know how to have a good time.
we do. It's like our third best thing we do. It's like shipping something and then a good time. I don't remember what the second one is.
I dare say, Bartholomew, you will find us most entertaining and will keep your days from ever being quite so dull ever again.
I have had many a dull day.
Oh, well then
Yes.
you should most certainly stick with us.
Very good. So basically, we'll get through the rest of dinner. Because what is our time? I'm looking at our time. Someone give me a time check. I did not start
It's
a timer.
10:08 EST.
7
Excellent.
PST.
There we go. So we started about an hour and a half ago.
Yep.
I'm gonna wrap this here in a few then. So, the situation we find ourselves in, because I will look at the impasses of the things we need to do. We have Max, who needs to talk to multiple love interests, apparently, just floating around this game. We have Vincent / Logan trying to make a play. Got super secret interview time with the bodyguard. And then we have seeing if our sparrow manages to start building a nest or not, I think is the best way to put that.
Wow, okay.
I'm
What?
supposed to have a love interest in House Lovell, but alright.
You are, but
Sometimes
you're
things
picking up.
don't go to plan.
That's true.
Sometimes you just grab love interests and secure allegiances with other houses.
This
by
is why
It's true.
Briar and Vidya are friends.
No, you right. You right.
You're right. Who wants to go in what order is the universal question. Because those are the things we kind of have to deal with and resolve in the next little bit here.
I need to see Vincent so bad deal with this situation.
Excellent. Well,
I'll go
that's
first. I'll
well, that's a
take the ball
combo
and sold.
scene. That's
Yeah,
a combo
yeah.
scene. So that's you and Briar.
Let's
It's
do
Vincent
it.
and Briar.
Let's do it.
So the courses wrap up, desserts are served, and people begin to socialize again. It's very clear that Omar, Sparrow, and her brand new date are all talking while this is going on. So you yourself, now with Aristal, head your way over to the house level table to discuss firearms with our masked friend. As you arrive, Aristal will make introductions. And this is where, like, Briar very much picks this up very quickly. Aristal is very much a social chameleon. Not necessarily a social butterfly, but Aristal knew they could get away with calling Vincent Vinny and pushing buttons here or there. But the moment they start interacting with this much higher house up the food chain, they immediately take on that approach of very dignified. Every movement they make is very calculated. It's very graceful and almost to that point of almost inhumane, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost too perfect. It brings about that idea of almost alien grace.
Okay.
And they introduce some members of house level, which we're not going to go through. I'm not going to give every single NPC a name, but we do finally get the name of your gold masked man. Which is Vashtun, of house level. This name immediately rings the fact that it is a noble. It brings the fact that it's a noble of fairly high birth, and that they are held in fairly high regards. The mask they're wearing this time is very similar to the mask they wore when you saw them at, I believe, lunch.
Okay.
When they were eating. It is not exactly the same mask. It's very similar. This one's a little more ornate because this is a dinner function. Now the
Dinner mask.
It is a dinner mask. They might have a mask for like every occasion. Like as you see like the attendants and stuff, you probably have a mask attendant, like somebody who just manages all their masks for them. Like they're that level of haughty. But this mask doesn't have any shading of the eyes, so you can see both of the different colored eyes, and you can very clearly make them out. And they offer you a seat, which the moment, by the way, for everybody else that's not at that table, so like Sparrow and Babs, there is kind of a murmur if Briar sits down. I assume Briar does sit down to join the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a bit of a murmur because House Lovell just invited someone who everybody knows is their rival house, who there was a jousting situation, to sit and have conversation with them at this festival. So this is a thing. This is one of those social low key things that is a thing. So yeah, you guys have there, and you guys get through some niceties and politeness, and Vashtun is like, I did not know, Briar, that you were interested in the workings of the
It's always been something that kind of escaped me in terms of opportunities to learn. And I am always interested in learning. So when the opportunity was extended to me, how could I say no in speaking with all of these fantastic marksmen?
Well, it's a good call. I mean, your second did the shooting during the festival, so I was wondering, you did participate in archery. I did see you. What's the best way? The most polite way to put this? I did see the actions you took against the birthday girl at the archery range.
He definitely looks a little embarrassed, maybe even medium embarrassed. I was unaware that there was a birthday girl in our my light bulb has been broken for a long time.
No, I just love how on beat it was. Just
yeah. I don't choose when it goes out. Only I know what to do to make it go back on. I was unaware that there was a birthday in our midst, let alone as my competitor.
True competition and a level of ruthlessness is required in some arenas. If she had banked on her goodwill of her opponent to allow her to win just because it was her celebration day, I would have thought less of you.
I I care about how I look as a competitor for my house, but also as myself, as an athlete, and I do think that it would be a disservice to her as well to play it easy just for an emotional stake. I don't know if you always learn that way.
I couldn't agree more. Pain and failure are wonderful teachers some nights.
Some nights. Can I glass clink? Or I will offer my glass for clink. I will.
Clank. They will receive your glass clink and clink the glasses together.
Lovely.
I see you are up and about. Was it Vincent, I believe?
Yes. Yes, this is Vincent, who served as my second, but I do not think of him as a second.
You think of him as a...
I serve the house.
You are in service to the house.
Yes, correct. I've also been instructing young Briar on various ways of combat, and I can speak to his skills very highly. He always knows.
Have you been teaching the what is it? What have I heard about you? Have you been teaching them the castration technique I've heard you're famous for?
Yes.
It
is. To be honest, this is a little embarrassing. That was not my original goal, but it is an effective technique. To be honest, it strikes fear in those who dare challenge me.
I've heard there was a kerfuffle with some lower-born individuals about the amount of castration you may have committed in the ranks. I may have you swing by now that you've joined the ranks of proper society and have you teach me this particular technique.
It's all like I actually my pistol is with me, unloaded, because I'm being polite, but I need to have it ready.
Well, I mean, if you guys are all discussing it, I assume, like, at this point, like, there was a presentation, everybody's weapons are kind of out on the table, open. So, like, there's clearly nobody's, it's kind of a display situation.
Yep. I do a quick flip of my pistol, and then I catch it in the air, and I'm like, I'd be more than happy to show my technique.
Oh, and we can...
And I take the moment to, like, look at Aristotle, because I want to see, like, how they gauge my trick.
They smirk a bit. Okay. Like, you will know that Aristotle is not showy in their pistoleering. Like, you do a lot of tricks and flips and other things. Aristotle, weirdly enough, is showy in the other things they do, but when they're actually firing, it's very graceful, and there's not a lot of showmanship, weirdly enough. It's the opposite of how they are when they're... Like, because you've seen Aristotle change their form. You would make that would be a much more showy situation than Aristotle firing a weapon. Aristotle is very... Like, my brain wants to say Eldari in nature, if I'm painting a picture.
Okay.
But that kind of ethereal grace when it comes to shooting, where it's beautiful in and of itself, but they're not showy in the action. It's very functional. But yes, no, and he'll turn back to Briar and be like, "Seems you have a wonderful teacher. Have you gone over powder loads yet?"
Max doesn't know what that is, but I don't know
how much black power you would load into the weapon to get different types of charges out of a firearm cartridge.
I know the basics. I don't own a firearm of my own, so nothing has come into practice for me per se.
So you've been using practice weapons. Very well. That is something you should definitely look into, is getting your house to possibly get you one. Not necessarily something as powerful as, and he points to his own weapon, or definitely not something as arcane as Aristotle is here. Even as a freelancer, there are a few known arcane firearms. If Axel had managed to not get themselves disqualified, I would have invited them to the table. But it seems that the judges found them willing to bend the rules a little too much to try to ensure victory. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did hear a few whispers about this, and what a shame that is.
It's caused quite the kerfuffle amongst some of the more uh, gossipy firearm circles. But it seems that the amount of arcane enhancements that Axel had managed to try to sneak by was just one too many for the judges.
Axel's not a good man to speak, not a good person to speak to.
You have history with Axel.
It's less history and more knowledge. Most people in my profession take some pride in being able to take prey alive. Axel is known, dare I say, infamous for caring less one way or the other.
I will keep that in mind if I'm looking for services of that nature.
Yes.
Like, you, by the way, like, Aristol is kind of standing in the corner of your vision, and when you start mentioning Axel, you get this kind of, like, look. Like, that kind of look that, like, just don't talk about Axel with this, like, this person apparently already has some sort of working situation. Like,
I think Vincent sees it, and while here to try and get some kind of relationship going on with Aristol, he's also on a job. And the house Amari, this is our rival house.
Yeah, totally correct.
I am not here to play nice. I am here to
super legit. But you definitely get the vibe from Aristol, like, you get the, like, because you've worked with Aristol in the past, you're like, Aristol kind of gives that, like, don't just stop talking. Like, look. Like, Briar very much picks up on it.
Yeah, I can flip this. Arcane enhancements, though, I am interested. I had an older set of armor of mine done, but the practitioner has since retired. So I would love to get my current set beefed up at some point. Though it did serve me well today, I can't complain.
I know. My second, who, by the way, his second is not at dinner.
Good.
Like, just straight up not at dinner. Like, my second knows from first-hand experience. He's, more than his ego was bruised in your exchange.
I would say that I apologize, but, he had a chip on his shoulder. I just had to knock it off.
He's had many things on his shoulder. A chip is the smallest of them.
How is it that, he ended up, serving your house today? Was that a choice of yours?
Oh, that was internal matters. His family is his family, my family is my family. They wanted to make a showing of a noble and some individuals who have worked their way up through hard work and not just been born into the life. So he was chosen because, one, his particular skill at the joust is fairly well known. His record is fairly well received overall. So...
For what it's worth, he was an incredibly strong opponent.
But you've put one of the few blemishes on his record. I believe that's his third loss, and the second time he's been knocked off his horse is all. So
I think we all have losses. I can't say that my record is perfect either. So I hope that he can find it within himself to continue the sport.
Oh, he will. I just... Next time it goes around, he'll probably want a rematch. I'm just giving you the warning.
I'll have to get the armor done by then.
Good call. No, his family has quite the influence, and he does, like I said, he does have the record. He does hold a good record for that particular event.
Yes, I believe he has a younger brother, yes?
Oh, I don't keep track of all his family internal workings. I believe he has 1 or 2 brothers and 3 sisters. I know he has 3 sisters.
I know how that goes.
Well, his family has tried to... They have proposed all 3 of them at one point in time as a suitor for myself, and none of them meet my particular standards.
And what would those particular standards entail?
Oh, well, of course, a high education, a complete understanding of all forms of combat, the ability... Like, he starts rattling off what is a laundry list of fucking standards that are like...
As a Capricorn, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
No, it is some haughty shenanigans. Like some of it is like it's very much like what you see when you like people are like they have to be 6'2", they need a good job, they gotta have this type of sports car or better, they gotta make this much
It's
a
like
year.
on Indian matchmaking.
Yes. And like Briar definitely fulfills some of the requirements.
Yeah.
As an Indian, yeah.
I'm like recalling a very
Hello.
specific scene.
Listen, I've never watched it because I don't have to watch it. I've experienced it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? When that came out, I was like, I'm not gonna fucking watch this. Are you kidding me? No! I don't want this shit!
I love watching stuff that's my brand of messy. When they did the bisexual season of Are You the One, I was like, I'm in.
Like, as someone who has to live this shit and has seen this shit, I was like,
Well,
is that my idea of pleasure watching, or is that just like masochism?
Understandable.
Like, I don't know about that one. But yeah,
that sounds like trauma watching. Why would you do
that? Sounds entirely
yeah.
reasonable of you to not watch.
It does sound like trauma watching. So it was just the fact that you brought that up was hysterical. I did like, as someone who knows it, yeah. Sorry, please continue.
No, you're fine. This has been our break to discuss Indian matchmaking. Indian matchmaking. All right. Meanwhile, back at yes, but no, it's the laundry list of things, and Briar doesn't not qualify for several of them. There is this twing in the back of Briar's head when they hear the like education level that might ping that family response.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Maybe that's up to you as the player, but it sounds you're like. You definitely went through all those classes. You definitely scored high enough marks to make a play, but is it a family thing? Is he yeah. But yeah, no, it's very clear that like it's ridiculous. He does not name gender at all though in the course of any of this. He's not very clearly like nah. All of these things. But yes.
I think this is probably a whole nother conversation, so I can drop a line and we can just say that they discussed from there.
Sure.
For time and etc. Because I actually did graduate from the academy. I don't know if you attended as well. Perhaps we shared some of the same professors.
No, I was not allowed to attend, but I did get personally tutored. Like he names a professor that was at the academy until like a year before you were there that left to do private tutoring, and you realize that this professor apparently privately tutored him.
You know, like in SpongeBob when Mr. Krabs' eyes turn to like the money symbol. I think that's what Briar feels like, but like with fear. It's
yeah. Ooh. Yeah. But yes.
Yeah.
But I would be happy. Like they start getting into this, and he's like, I would love to happily discuss particular like philosophical viewpoints when it comes to the ethics of like particular magical usages. Like it's a super niche topic that nobody else at the table is really getting because nobody else went to academy. But Briar's like, I got this, and I think that's where we kind of fade to you two trying to have this philosophical conversation in the background.
You want to talk about magic? My parents are actually the Soliers.
Yeah. No, it's really like that seems to interest him immediately. Like, oh, really? So the two of them have drifted off into magic theoretical talk, leaving Aristal and Vinny at the table in their own little side world with other people who like firearms. What does Vinny try to do? This is Vinny's moment. You get one shot. You got to grab it. Eminem plays right now.
I look at Aristal, my one eye, and I'm like, so, been told you're flirting with me.
Oh, you finally realized that, huh?
We have known each other a few years.
You finally became the king, huh?
So, what I'm trying to say is, I'm bad at communicate. You know me. This is unfair because you have more information on me than I have on you in this situation. And normally, what I try to do is gather a lot of information, but Briar has told me that I need to take to grasp this. So
Do you need me to put a bounty out on myself so you can gather information and track me down? Is that what that requires to get your attention?
that would be kind of cool.
Aristal chuckles at that and pats Vincent on the shoulder, goes, I'll see about doing that in a little bit then. And you get kind of this like moment of like, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, sure. It seems like it's very much goofily done, but it's clearly semi-serious.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, and it's a pat on the shoulder, and like, when you're feeling better, like clearly you're in a wheelchair right now,
Yeah.
we can talk. Like that's the response you kind of get.
And
Was
all
it
I
like
can
a
think-
lingering pat on the shoulder?
It was a lingering pat.
All Vincent can think of is the hunt is on.
Well, that's a. But the
That's in his
question
head.
is,
He
who-
didn't say it. He didn't say.
the
it.
question
He
is,
thought it.
who's really the prey here?
He doesn't know, and that's the exciting part.
Yep. Yep. All right. Next we've got our. We'll go ahead and go to. Yes, I think I will do it in this order. We'll go ahead and go to the key and see what happens.
Yes.
Are we trying to sway the situation in a particular way? Because what happens is you get Omar and your date talking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you leave them talking, there is outcome A. If you try to, if you engage and influence the conversation, you can help shape it better. What would you like to happen? Because you can go and socialize more and leave them to hammer out what's going on. You've delivered the thing you need to do, which is delivering people who can discuss and finalize alliances amongst your houses together. You've officially completed your mission. You get your bonus die on your roll.
Yay!
The universal question is, what do you want to do to get your own self-interest in the situation?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Vidya would leave right away. Like this, like
Okay.
she's
sure.
just with the two of them together, and this fella's also taken an interest in her. Also, she's kind of a handy tool to have around as someone who cannot be lied to.
Legit.
So she's kind of like her uncle's lie detector, low key.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of good reasons for her to stick around. I think.
All right.
So I think she's going to stick around and remain involved
Excellent.
and be very charming.
Excellent. So what you'll get out of this is basically they're negotiating a trade deal, and then they get to negotiating you. And I don't mean like you as in like marriage, but definitely you is like social, like I don't want to say social collateral, but the sense of like he is clearly into you because you're like, because you know we're like, you know, and he's like, and your uncle's like, interesting, yes, this sounds great. And given the fact that it's been known that your uncle sets you up on dates, this is an established thing through the Briar situation. I didn't make this canon. You two made this canon. You did this to yourself.
I know. Oh my god.
What was that? What was that, Max?
I
Max
said
was trying
keep going.
Like, I didn't do this. You all decided this. You made this up in your session 0. I just remember what you said. It has kind of turned into the, like, you're depending on how you want to steer it, you're kind of, like, promised to a social outing with him at this point in time. Like, you will go out and socially be seen on a date with this individual to see what's going on. Omar has never, ever once, like, tried to betroth you out, but he's definitely been like, you'll be seen in public escorting my niece type situation.
I see no reason to disagree with that. I mean, this is a house 2 rungs above us, so it's not bad. I think she does kind of like interject a little bit to be like very cheekily, like to be like, I'm right fucking here, you know, kind of a thing, but she's being playful, you know. It's like, and she's clearly not opposed. Like, she's very, very playful. They're, you know, making arrangements over her, and she's like, I'm right here. But no, it's fine. She's totally down for that, because feels advantageous.
The seating has moved, so they're not literally talking over you. They like kind of as the dinner dispersed, like you're part of the conversation.
But still, I'm part of that conversation, so I'm still gonna be like, I'm right fucking here, you know.
He kind of does the asking for permission thing because, like he said, it's publicly known that Omar to get a date with you, you kind of have to go through Omar. Like you can go out and get your own date, but if you want to be approved by the house officially on paper, you have to go through Omar because Omar runs that type of courting situation. So this is a official. You're going to be seen courting public situation now. This is not you have a paramour you're meeting in a dark alley. This is in the gossip rags on page 5.
Lady
Sparrow has
Whistledown.
been seen. Yes.
Lady Whistledown Society papers are going to report about this meeting. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. And
For
unless
all
you
the
want to
Bridgerton
shape
fans.
it, unless you want to shape it or throw more dates on there or inform him exactly where you're going to take him, because he's like, I would like to take your niece to a social function. You could be like, you will take me to this location. We will do this thing, and this is how this will run. That is where that is the most interject, like that is the most because we've established that you're mommy. And, like you have more than enough ability and stroke to do that if you would prefer to do it that way.
I will tell him that I will determine the where, when, why, and how, and that I will inform him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he just needs to be a good boy and wait.
Sure. There you go.
Because
good.
I can't think of something right now that's advantageous, but I'm sure something will come up.
Well, I mean, there is the spring, because we're in spring right now. So there is the summer formal gala and dance that will be our next game setup. Because apparently Max is all about my life. Apparently Max loves
What
every
if we
choice
played
I've made.
this game forever?
I love how happy Max is. This is great. I love it. Yeah, well then I will tell him that is where he is taking me, and that is where we will be seen together.
Excellent, not a problem. Yeah, you pretty much solidify that. And last but not least, this is all going on as the night's been going. Taylor, I'm going to need you to make me one resistance roll.
Oh, how do I do that? What does that do?
For body. Because you know what you've been doing all night?
Shut.
Oh
no!
Drink.
What is that? What is that roll? I don't know. How to play
it is
this
all
game.
your body dots in dice. So how many?
Oh,
it's a resistance
I'm
roll.
very good at that. Okay.
So it's whatever the first. How many? You know how the
I
first
got a
dot of
body
body
line.
has the line.
Yeah.
It's every dot in that first line. So if you
Beautiful.
have 3 first dots, you would get 3.
I
If
got
you have 4,
3.
all right.
That's a 4.
All
That's the
right.
highest.
All right. So you do not get like utterly blitzed and sloshed and fucking blackout, stupid drunk. Because keep in mind, not once during this night did you tell me I slow down. Your response was,
nor would I ever.
Your
I
response
shot.
is, I keep up.
Yeah.
So as the night is winding down, you, the bodyguard, and like whatever kind of older lady that Karel is looking to bed, because Karel, you do not endear yourself to being like a bettable target in this situation. You've been super endearing.
I'm
That's
buddy.
You're buddy, not hooky uppy. And so the bodyguard will basically, Karel and his lady of the evening head in a direction towards like their tent. The bodyguard hangs out with you during the night. About an hour and a half later, like everybody else has kind of gone off to where they're going. So this is late night. Karel will kind of come out after he has finished. He's wearing like a robe, like, and probably some like some evening trousers with some house slippers. And
I give him like whatever the Regency version of like nice and a high five or whatever, you know, but probably just a solemn nod.
Salute, like Captain, my captain.
Yeah.
And the bodyguard will basically sit down after Karel sits down and informs like she's aware of some of the situation, but it sounds like her and her family might be interested in doing some business. And you kind of get the breakdown that Karel probably has a level of controlling interest in this particular house, in this particular house of ill repute. You also quickly learn that Karel doesn't actually care which gang controls the territory. He just wants to make sure the clientele moves back and forth from one place to another easily. He does want the deed situation cleaned up, whether that's the other house taking control of that physical territory or the deed disappearing. He doesn't care. And that's kind of the situation you find yourself in. Normally I would normally you're supposed to end all these things per season, but I'm totally fine letting this kind of creep into the next, like you doing this, finishing this in downtime rather than trying to handle that unless other people disagree. But I think downtime is the best way to handle this particular situation.
That works for me.
All right. Sounds great. So, now we've come to, conclusions. So we need to look at all the things we have successfully concluded.
What have we done?
We have definitely successfully concluded our primary objective, and we've concluded our secondary objective. So we've gotten both of those. Which would leave you guys with, I believe, 3 dice, if I'm looking at this correctly, right? For moving your clock forward. Let me double check. Boop, boop,
Come on,
boop.
storyteller. Jeez.
I know, I'm literally the worst. I'm the worst about these progression clocks and how they work in this game that I've run exactly this many times. Where we're moving into the stuff and the things for ending our errand.
The clocks and blades have always confused me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love a good clock, man.
It's not that I dislike them; it's that they confuse me.
I like them in missions. I don't understand, the bigger picture, cool, I guess, but I like living, breathing stuff. But, in a mission, when, here's the clock before bad shit happens, love it.
I think it's kind of just, a way to track, how much of the right thing that you did.
Well, this particular clocks are for moving your guys up the house ladder. Nice. So, this is what, that's the place we're at. We're we're moving these clocks up the house ladder, and then I'll have to set the things for the next game. I think you guys house. All right, 2 if met, 1 if met for the secondary goal. So something aspiring. What was our something aspiring? As I go back and look at our stuff.
I just pinned the goal.
Oh, was it pinned? Thank goodness.
I just did. Something arising was a broker piece between 2 different street gangs.
Which
working
we did not
on
get
it.
to.
Which we're working on it.
Which we did not get to, but we can handle during downtime.
Something personal. Look into the plans of your enemies / rivals.
We did not get that.
Thwarting a rival. Stop the plans of House Lovell.
Which we did not do. Somebody tried to get into bed with House Lovell, so that's not really thwarting their plans.
Well, I did stop the guy from winning the joust.
Ooh, we did like that plan.
Yeah.
And made a fool of him after I offered him his hand, and it was a social faux pas that you said was talked about.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't. I'll go ahead and I'll give it to you. It doesn't give you an extra dice, so.
I see. If I was to make an argument for one of these, I would say that we more so looked into the plans of our enemies' rivals because of the all of the things that happened with Taylor and House Bastian and Jerry. Because you were in there to help. Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to look into level for me. If he'll freaking tell me anything.
I'll give you that one. As this is a short run series. I'm fine with you getting all 4 dice then.
That's on my to-do list. Is to rough up Jerry next time, see what he's found out.
Yeah, the question is, you guys get 4 dice to roll. Who wants to roll them?
Wait, what? Can we each roll one?
One each.
Ooh.
Sure.
See who gets the highest or whatever, however it works.
Well, no, I need to know the total number too, because if you get 2 6s, then it's 3 ticks on the clock.
Ooh.
So everybody's rolling
That's a
dice.
5 for me.
I got a 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're all rolling 1? Okay.
Apparently we're all rolling 1.
A 5.
I got a 5. The clock moves up 1. All right. Primary goal. At the end of the session, you reflect back on those 3 errands, include blah, 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 blah. Roll the hot energize. Oh, fair enough. You guys do move up the ranks officially at the end of the first one. So now you're the rank 5 house. You have officially overtaken Bastion. They are unhappy as you ruined their birthday dinner. You then ruined their birthday girl's moment. You then allied yourself with their rival, and then you did everything but basically shun them publicly. We know what our make amends is for the next season, don't we? Our next seasonal little things.
House Bastion.
Oh, you mean that we're not gonna double down?
I mean, you don't have to. You can say fuck them. Yeah, you go set their houses on fire or whatever. Yeah, get it.
Perfect. I love it. And what does this give us again?
We can cover that off stream.
Okay,
Yeah.
And we can kind of cover that at the beginning of the next game. But I believe we're going to go ahead and wrap there with our first little thing. And we got 3 more episodes, because 2 to 3 more episodes. We might be able to cram it all into 2 episodes. But I think there'll be some more interesting heartbreak, and I think we'll have some downtimes to cover with people.
Ooh.
And I might do those. I might get with people and record them as like extras.
That'd be
or
cool.
I might
Cute.
That'd be cute.
Yeah, that'd be cute. Let's do that then. We can get then because we have a little bit of time before our next taping. So let's go ahead, and I'll go in reverse order, and we'll go. Liana, tell us about where people can find you on the interwebs and things of that nature.
Oh, hello, that's me. My name is Liana. You can find me on Twitter at @TheLianaMaple or TheLianaMaple.card.co. Those are the 2 best places on the internet to find me and keep up with what on earth it is that I'm doing and where on earth it is that I am, because I don't even know if I'm coming or going half the time. And today I played Vidya Almari, our lovely sparrow, and yeah, be good to yourselves.
All right, Taylor.
Hello, I'm Taylor at _potato_ on the internet. Where am I usually? Here, over on High Shelf Collective as well. You can also find me on 2000 Tales every Tuesday and Friday. And I have been Babs. The Gooth.
Logan.
Hello, my name is Logan, also known as Logan the GM. That's where you can find me most places on the internet, where I wax TTRPGs and other social commentary, because I can't keep my damn mouth shut. You can find me here, and I'm sure various other places. I am horrible at keeping track of things. I should really just like paste a schedule here so I can just like plug this thing, then plug that thing, and then plug that. But for now, you can see me here, and I have been playing Vincent the Hawk.
AKA the castrator.
No, it was
So
Vincent the Dick Shooter.
It was
Dick Shooter.
But we were in polite society, so he's not going to call you the Dick Shooter in the middle of a fancy dinner.
I don't think even calling me Vincent the Castrator is also polite. I feel like it's still impolite.
No, it's much more polite.
Okay.
It sounds fancier.
I'll give you that.
Max, what we got?
I am Max. You can find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. I'm not particularly sure when this is airing, so I'm just going to talk about what's happening right now. You can find me on Mondays for the foreseeable future on Take Your Roll, running Crimson Harvest, which is a dual system actual play with an all trans and POC-led cast. You can find me on Fridays doing Growing of the Dim Season 3 on Critical Misses, trying to survive the rest of the season. And I'm doing City of Mists with this group also soon. And other than that, I think there is something else, but it doesn't start until next month, and I'm too overbooked to think about next month until next month happens. So, that's all.
There.
There you go. And I have been Paul, our lovely storyteller. You can find me at PaulMarch6 on Twitter. You can also find me from the High Shelf Collective from time to time. And here on Apochromatic Unlimited, we have been Apochromatic Unlimited. We're here to uplift the voices of BIPOC individuals in the TTRPG space, as well as, making sure that we're heard. Because we're militant about that. At least I am.
Yes.
I'm very angry. But I hope you all had a good time, and we're going to have a great time when we get back for another 2 to 3 episodes of this bad boy. See ya!
Bye.
Goodbye.